All right. Hey, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Chalk Talk. If you haven't been here, welcome. If you've been here, welcome back.
Welcome, welcome.
Uh, as you can see, she's in a beautiful Victorian home in California, and I exist within an algorithm. I
We all exist within an algorithm.
am AI. I'm just kidding. Today,
It's the
actually, we're going to talk.
Matrix.
It is the Matrix. We're all in the Matrix. Like this. Oh, I didn't disappear. Thanks, Zoom. Anywho, AI actually ironically ties into what we're going to talk about today. One of our stocks that we have talked about on a previous episode way back on May 22nd. So it's been a while since we have talked about this stock. And that stock today is ticker symbol PLTR, Palantir Technologies. As usual in the tech world, there's a lot going on, and especially investing in the tech world. Since our last
Palantir.
video. Yeah, Palantir Tech. Since
A
our
lot
last
going on.
video,
I saw an article about Cathie there.
oh yeah, Cathie Wood.
Cathie
Yeah,
making some moves.
yeah, I was gonna mention that. Um, yeah, other than that, well, before I go back to that, since our last video, we closed out at well, not we, but Palantir closed out at 1189 on the day we made that video and released it.
Wait,
Since
what day
then,
was that?
that was May 22nd. The
Okay,
stock
that's
closed.
May 22nd, and today's date, September
Today is. Or, eh,
5th,
today's September. So it's
at the
been
time of recording. Gonna
yeah,
check a
yeah,
time.
so it's been some months. And like I said, the stock closed at 1189 that day. And actually saw its 52-week high about 9 weeks later after that video. It ran up to 2029. Um, yeah, and since then, let's see. So going back to what I was saying, the stock almost basically doubled within 9 weeks. And it shortly had a sell-off about 2.5 weeks later. Went back down all the way to 1362 and then had a bounce. Actually, you can see that bounce right here as my background from 1362 up to 1986. Just 5 days later, the stock bounced $6.24. Um,
Okay.
and then a week after that, our friend who you had mentioned earlier, Cathie Wood of ARK Investment Group, she dropped $10 million. And she bought roughly 525,000 shares
You said how
of
many?
Palantir.
Repeat that number.
525,000 shares of PLTR.
525,000. So can I was trying to pinpoint exactly when she bought Le Dip.
She bought it. Here I have August 31st.
So August 31st, what was the price of the stock at that time?
August
August.
31st, the stock closed at 1564.
Okay.
Hmm. Yeah. And she also bought um
Palantir closed today
so
at 15.
yeah, yeah,
So
today
it's
it
still
closed.
technically according to Cathie Woods, it would be a buy right now.
Yeah, it's about a 40 cent difference from what she bought it. And so she did a few things. So ARK Investment Group, her investment group that she runs, they have a few ETFs, and then so one of them is ARKK, and the day she bought those shares, she moved thousands and thousands of shares into it. The stock closed at $44.01. Well, the ETF, the ARKK ETF. Um, Shortly before that, the ETF stock had a really big bounce from a low of 35.56. It had a high from 51.33, the ETF. And she has two other ETFs that have Palantir stock in it. ARKF, and she acquired 58,000 shares to put into that ETF. And then ARK Next Generation, which is actually ticker symbol, sorry, ARKW, which now has 89,000 shares of Palantir in it. So she's a really big Palantir fan, and yeah, like
Yeah.
you mentioned earlier, to
It
her
says here
$15 is a buy.
last it says last month wasn't even Palantir's worst. August, it's only had three since it was went okay, so it went public in 2020, September 2020. The stock tumbled 25.4% in August 2022, and then it took until May of this year and the frenzy around AI to recover the losses. So I wonder what Cathie is seeing in the stock because Yahoo Finance says it's overvalued, but Cathie knows something we don't. Is she betting on
Well,
AI?
well, the stock was. Oh yeah, she's the. That's actually going to go into my my points I was going to mention. Um, the stock was real popular back in 2021, back when all GME and AMC thing was popping off.
Mm-hmm.
Palantir was like a 18, 20, $22 stock, which is now like slowly making its way back up to that range. But yeah, Cathie Wood is a massive fan of AI. So she has recently sold a ton of NVIDIA
Okay.
after that big run that NVIDIA had, to the hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of dollars. She actually recently sold like the majority of her holdings. It only still accounts for 1% of the investment group, um, but she's also been buying other AI stocks. Um, she has just more than 10% of her entire portfolio in AI stocks. She actually
Oh,
has
that's a big chunk. Yeah.
yeah, there's a company she has. It's called UiPath. She owns 1.82%, represents 1.82% of her portfolio. And ironically enough, Zoom is 2.1% of her portfolio.
Cathie, do something. Advocate for, you know what? Actually, I can't be mad at Zoom. They do want my
Yeah.
money, as we pointed out last time.
But if you want to see something funny, actually, and ironic, so Cathie Wood bought $10 million worth of Palantir. That same day, Palantir took a small hit, not much. It was like a $1.50, $2 difference, maybe like 5, 6%
I
down that
wonder if
day.
she bought it after the hit or before the hit.
So yeah, and ironically, that day on August 31st, third, pardon me, August 31st, Morgan Stanley, who
Um,
we were talking about before earlier,
oh yeah.
the rating system we were talking about off camera.
Oh yeah, that's
Um,
right. I said they had lifted they had okay, it says Palantir Technology stock receives composite rating upgrade, and that's by Investors Business Daily.
mhm.
So that was August 30th, 2023. That came out.
August August 30th.
Yes, I'm saying that it says August 30th, 2023 by Glenn
Hmm.
Larkin.
See now,
So
here,
yeah, it says
uh-huh.
the IBD Smart Select composite rating for Palantir Technologies increased from 93 to 96 on Wednesday, one number shy of its RS rating of 97.
Mhm. So
So,
they upgraded it. Cathie Wood bought it $10 million the next day. But that same day, Morgan Stanley, like I said, downgraded it to underweight and dropped their price target.
that's what I
Not
saw.
much,
I
but
saw
from
there
9
seems to be
to 8.
contention.
Uh-huh. So they explained their reasoning, and the analyst said that the big data analytics company valuation is too rich, and that the company needs time to translate its artificial intelligence, AI, offers into actual revenue.
Okay.
Hmm. But
I think Morgan Stanley might be short on Palantir.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, they were
It's so
probably
funny when
shorting
these
it.
companies can use the media to like push their narrative. It may not necessarily, I don't know, it may not necessarily be true or false, but it's just funny how they can like pay to make a narrative worded in their favor or just do anything in their favor. Like, why would an institution that can give them rating also participate in the buying and selling of said stocks? It seems illegitimate, but okay.
Yeah. Hey, the market was made for the 1%. But anywho, yeah, Cathie has been doing a lot of buying and selling. So, like here, for example, I was reading that the day before she bought $10 million in Palantir, she cut a little bit of her top 10 investments, dropping 126,000 shares of Shopify, which is about
Shopify.
8 point, yep, which is about close to worth of, close to $8.4 million,
Mm-hmm.
while her fintech ETF dropped 14,000 shares worth roughly $911,000 of the next generation ETF. But
Didn't Shopify
yeah,
have
and
a
then
run recently? Shop Shopify was in the
uh,
news for a short little stint there.
yeah, Shopify. I could pull up the chart here. Let's see. So today, Shopify closed at 65.80. Um, it's been on a bit of a run from $51, which was from August 18th. Uh, Cathie sold it on the 30th, um, which it barely moved that day. It had a low of 59.42 and a high of 59.84. I don't really know where her position average is, but
Yeah. So Shopify
before that,
gained 17.63% in a week.
yeah, and it had a
That
really
was 10
massive
hours
run.
ago.
Yeah, it had a really massive run from 46, from about early May to $71. Had an uptrend for about 2 months and ran about $25 a share. And then she sold roughly $8.4 million of it, and then used most of that money to reinvest the 10 million into
Mm,
Palantir at 15 and change. And now here we have 15 still sitting today, closed at 15.21, and after hours down 2 cents at 15.19. But it hit a 52-week high. Like I said, it's been on an uptrend since $7, which it was in no, I'm sorry, in April.
Palantir.
Yeah, it went all the way down to five, sat at seven for a while, and then had a really massive uptrend and ran about 300% in
That
like two
was
months. Well,
that was
like close to
something.
350% in like 2 months. So yeah,
Yeah.
for me, I'd say, in my personal opinion, not financial advice, but yeah, I'd say anything 15, sub $15 is a good buy for Palantir. If you ever see it under $10, again, not financial advice, but I would pay attention to it.
Yeah. I mean, I wonder what's I wonder what's in the works.
Yeah, I mean, here I have,
That's the kind of move you make when you know something good's on the horizon. You can see something good on the horizon, especially if
uh,
every Yahoo Finance is stating it overvalued, but it has a
uh,
bullish pattern. Short-term
yeah,
performance bearish, mid-term performance bearish, long-term performance
yeah,
bullish.
it,
Right? The
yeah,
volume is rocking though.
it had a 52-week low this year at 584, and then proceeded to run just over $20. And it has a really massive float, really big float. The shares outstanding are 2.15 billion. But the free float is 1.92 billion shares. A lot of shares. But most mid cap and large cap companies are like that, like Coca-Cola, and Tesla, and all those companies. Johnson and Johnson, they usually have billions and billions and billions of shares, just like Apple. That's pretty
Yeah,
normal. The market cap sitting at 32.73 billion.
yeah. Here it says,
Um,
I'm reading this article. It says Palantir Technologies Inc. is attracting investor attention. Here's what you should know from Yahoo Finance. And this is what pops out to me. It says, for the current quarter, Palantir Technologies is exposed to the post and earnings of 6 cents per share, indicating a change of positive 500% from the year ago quarter. The Zacks
mhm.
consensus estimate has changed plus 17.9% over the last 30 days. So I don't know. I don't know if it's overvalued or not, but it seems that fundamentally they believe that it's not.
uh,
So
yeah, I mean, one of their not, I wouldn't say maybe, I wouldn't say competitors, but people within the same industry of them. For example, like Lockheed Martin, they make defense like software and defense weapons, and which are kind of like similar to what basically Palantir is doing. Palantir, like I mentioned, has a $32 billion market cap,
mhm.
where somebody who does basically similar military style type of software and weaponry um, has a market cap of, oh God, it's over 100 billion usually. Lockheed Martin market cap. I don't want to just say it. Let me get the exact one. Market cap 112 billion. Not exactly the same companies, but somewhat similar in the sense of they both work in like the private industries and within militaries.
Yeah. I think this is definitely being labeled based off of what I've researched. It's definitely being labeled as a growth stock with long-term potential, not necessarily short-term potential.
Yeah, I mean,
So
it wouldn't shock me to see Palantir one day is a 50, $60 stock down the road.
you
Yeah,
know,
definitely a growth stock.
sometimes they say you should follow what big money is doing. And so we're definitely keeping, I wouldn't necessarily say do exactly what they're doing, but pay attention to what they're doing. It should
Hmm.
definitely have you reflecting on like and asking more questions about what's happening in the market in various sectors and kind of gives hints as to what's going to happen later. I mean, if this, what would be a sympathy play for Palantir, other AI stocks, right? Other
Hmm.
military or
Yeah,
military affiliated stocks.
those are all the hot ones right now. Nvidia, like we mentioned earlier, that's been on a run for the last couple months. Anything linked to AI is popping up for the last couple months. This whole summer, it's been
Yeah,
the AI
it's
stock craze
definitely been the trend.
as of
Hey,
late.
that's what's going growing in tech right now.
Hmm.
The scramble, the AI arms race, the AI race, AI arms race. I don't know.
So I'm gonna try to definitely keep up with Palantir for future episodes. Cathie Wood in general, her moves, which she does. Sometimes she's spot on, and when she's on like
Is it because she
crazy.
takes bold moves? People really get like, Cathie Wood did this. I'm like, you know what?
Yeah, yeah.
No,
I
she's
mean, of course
professional in her
she's.
sphere.
I mean, of course she's been wrong. No one's right all the time, especially in the stock market. But
I know they just
when
really
she
like
is,
to put her actions under the microscope or
microscope, yeah. Yeah, when she's on, she's on. She's like super pro Bitcoin, super pro Tesla, Palantir, AI, EV, Bitcoin. She likes Ethereum. She's very into tech, very into the future. Most of her articles
Growth
are
stock.
all
Well,
tech.
I guess it would be good to, if she's growth stock oriented, it's like a good catalyst point. Like if whatever she's looking at is probably like, oh, maybe you should also take a look at XYZ.
Hmm. Hmm.
So that's just something to think about when if you're still learning, we're all still learning stocks. Even if you've been in the game for 25 years, you still have to continuously learn stocks and the algorithm and what's going on to keep on top.
Hmm. So, but yeah, like I said, future episodes gonna be covering a lot of tech stocks in general, growth stocks, Cathie Wood, crypto.
It's probably a good time to start getting into these stocks, right? Oh, I wonder. I have to think about it because when I analyze the market, I'm like, oh, should I wait? I should wait a little bit. I want to see what's going to happen, but I have that habit of waiting a little too long sometimes. So
Hmm. Not pulling the
anyway, yeah,
trigger when you.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
I should call Rihanna for some help with that. Man down,
yeah. Uh,
yeah, her
okay.
song, yeah.
Uh, yeah, I know. I know.
Anyway, Palantir.
Yeah, Pat Palantir, ARK Investment Group, Cathie Wood. Let's see what Palantir goes, but yeah, definitely a long haul stock. Um, I mean, it could be a good trade depending on where it sits. If I ever see it sub teens, it's definitely a buy for me. Uh, but overall, I would say definitely a long term hold. Yeah.
Yeah,
So especially
that's what
if,
it seems so,
especially if
guys.
they continue with their growth and they really start producing stuff with their AI tech and all that. I mean, they're growing. They're growing. You know, like I said, we mentioned in the May 22nd episode, they're both now in the private and public sectors. They're getting contracts all around. So it's definitely
Mhm.
a stock worth watching, in my opinion.
Yeah,
So yeah, that's that. Another episode, huh? Is there anything
another
else you'd like to
episode.
mention?
Um, nope, I have
Wrap it
nothing
up.
to mention. Yeah, we could wrap it up.
All right.
Cathie
Well,
Wood, buy the dip. Thanks for tuning in.
thanks for
Keep an
tuning in. Thanks for
eye.
watching another episode.
Another episode. What did you used to say in the books?
Another
Another episode
episode in
in
the books. And then I tend
the
to say, have a good
books.
morning, a good afternoon, and a great night. And we'll see you in the next one. Please like, share, and subscribe. And if you don't, that's okay too.
I don't know
Take
where he's
care.
gonna
Stay
be.
safe. Take care. Stay safe. Signing out. I'm going back into the algorithm.
Okay.
I'm just kidding. I'm right here.
My hair was decided from you tonight.
All right. Three. One. Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of Chalk Talk. And if you haven't been here, welcome.
Welcome,
It's been a
welcome.
little, it's been a
Oh wait,
little,
no,
little.
sorry, my fan is still on.
Oh, of course it is.